Let's see. We're about to launch into our 10-minute set, so Bert Toplinsky, you're going to be our first 10-minute spot here on deck. Come on stage right now, get loud for Mr. Ewan. Ooh!
Hey, what's up, you guys? Yeah, when I first moved to Vegas, I was living in this house. I had a bunch of roommates, right? And one of them was a Japanese dude. And yeah, he never talked to anybody, but he would feed the pigeons all the time. He was there for a couple of years, you know. So when I showed up, all the pigeons were soaring me and shit. I was like, what the hell? Get away from me, damn racist-ass pigeons. Yeah, one of my buddies is a white guy. But he's like really, really white, you know. I think he's like part albino and shit. Yeah, he's so white when he comes to my house, all the plants start growing in his direction and shit. Yeah, you know, whenever I have sex, like, I never last as long as I'd like to, you know? I'm always like, come on, penis, hang in there. And it's always like, nah, screw this. Yeah, I used to go to water parks like every summer, you know? But one summer I had a fairly traumatic experience happen, so I stopped. It was when I was 16, right? And I was waiting in line on these stairs to go to this water slide. And I look up, and the girl in front of me, she's like about the same age, but her boobs are like right in my face, you know? And it's kind of cold and windy, right? So her nipples are like kind of popping out. So I was like, whoa, you know? So I turn, and then the girl here, her face is like right in my junk, you know? I already got a partial woody going, right? And then she yawns, you know? So that was it. It was like, bang, right? And I was like, oh shit, like I gotta get out of here. So I just ran up the stairs past everyone, you know? And apparently it's pretty common in raging waters because the lifeguard was like, come on, just go, you know? So I jumped on the slide, I got out of there. I was like, man, they really need to rename this place. They should call it Raging Boners. Why didn't the oyster share his food? You shellfish. And I'll tell you the story. This guy, right, he gets hired on this ship, and they're out at sea for about 6 months, and he's talking to his buddy, you know, it's just a bunch of dudes. He's like, hey, when do we go back to port, right? Like, I'm getting kind of horny here. The guy's like, oh no, we're not going back to port for another 6 months. He's like, what? I can't wait that long. He's like, well, have you tried the barrel? He's like, no, what's that? So he takes him to this room with a barrel in it, and the barrel is a little hole, right? He's like, there you go. So he tries it, right? He fucks the barrel, and it works really, really well, right? And he's like, later he's talking to his buddy, he's like, man, that was awesome, you know? I want to use that barrel every day. He's like, oh, you mean every day but Sunday, right? He's like, oh, you can't use it on Sunday? It's like, well, you can, but Sunday's your day in the barrel, so. Your day in the barrel? Sorry. What do you call a guy who can make a business suit real fast? Taylor Swift. I was thinking, you know, Pride Month needs a mascot. And I got the perfect one. The flamingo. Right? They have pink feathers, you know, they love to dance. And they're like a non-predatory, peaceful type bird, you know? They only eat like brine shrimp and algae. Nobody gives a damn about brine shrimp. Also, you know what a group of flamingos is called? They're not called a flock. No, they're called a flamboyance. How gay is that, right? Yeah, it's like all the best parts of Pride, like wrapped up into one animal and stuff. Even the name flamingo is flaming O. A flaming O? That's a burning butthole. You know, whenever a guy like brags about how big his dick is, you know, it's usually the opposite, right? He's got a little micro penis. I was talking to this guy the other day, he was like, oh yeah, man, my dick's so big, I'm hung like a horse. I was like, yeah, like a seahorse. Yeah, I think Shaquille O'Neal's like the happiest man on earth, you know? He's always so jolly, like everyone just loves him, right? I think because he's never been messed with. Yeah, how are you gonna bully someone who's so tall that his crotch is in your face? It's like, hey Shaq, give me your lunch money. Never mind. And you know the thing going around where like if you're a lady and you're alone in the woods, would you rather run into a bear or a strange man? And a lot of women are choosing the bear, right? But I think that's just ignorance of bear knowledge. Cause I ran into a bear alone in the woods once. Yeah, and he fucked the shit out of me. And, you know, there's earlier this past year, scientists reported for the first time, 2 male humpback whales having sex. Yeah, Warner Brothers already gonna make a movie about it. Yeah, they're gonna call it Humpback Mountain. Yeah, it's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was gonna blow my brains out, I wouldn't know whether to run away or pull my pants down. I've had sex with all different types of women, you know, white, black, Asian, Hispanic. In my opinion, Asian women give the best blowjobs. If any of you ladies like to prove me wrong, you can meet me in the bathroom later. I'll end with this last joke. You know, comedians will always tell you two things, right? They'll always tell you when they just get booked on a show, and they'll always tell you when they just had sex. That's a bit juvenile, right? Like myself, I haven't been booked on a show in over a month. But I did get laid last week, so whoa! Alright, my name's Iwan Ung, I'm out of here. Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Iwan, everybody! Iwan is, oh yeah. We've arrived at our 10-minute spot.